class? A break. We'll be looking at software tools for teaching and learning, module 5 today. And the whole essence of this module is to show you that the simple things that we use in the class normally, day to day, we can use it also in the classroom. Even if we don't have all the sophisticated gadgets yet, there are other things that we can do as a teacher in the classroom to make our classroom interesting and exciting. Simply with the Microsoft Word that you use to type, there are many things that you can do as a teacher. Microsoft Excel, there are all those Microsoft Office package. They are very useful in the classroom. And if you know some of these things, they can give you an edge, because that's the whole idea. Above the normal, teachers, every other teacher in the school, or you are seeking for something, an employment somewhere, you need to have something extra that you can show. Because these days, even if you don't go to, if you do pass through faculty of education, everybody believes they can teach. That's what everybody believes. Because anybody can start in front of a class and say something. And then we have thought that that is teaching. But when trained teachers themselves have not shown the whole world what it means to teach, everybody will feel that they can teach. So all these things that we are doing are ways by which you can prove indeed that, yeah, I'm trained for the job as a teacher. You might find yourself, even as a trainer anywhere, you'll be able to say yes. Or you might be doing a presentation somewhere. You'll be able to do quite a number of things. In the class that you did on charts, you can remember? Yes. What are the characteristics of a good chart? Yeah. That's how you are sounding for me. So consistent. Yes, nobody wants to talk now. It must be a one concept chart. What again? Yes. Clear, well-defined goal, instructional objective. Yes? What else? Is it only this side that was class? Amen. Yeah. Okay, what is this side? Okay, what else? What else? The lettering should be bold, thank you. Of course, the lettering should not be complicated. Okay, what else? It must not be potential. That's in storage. If you want to store the child, you shouldn't fold. Okay? Are you So it must be visual. More visual than verbal. The verbal content should just supplement the visual. Now, I'm going to link it up with what we will do. With Microsoft Office, or Microsoft Word in particular, you can ensure that those principles are achieved. Because you can actually have designed your chart on the computer. And even if you don't have access to a large format printer, you can print it on sheets of paper that can be distributed in the classroom. It works the same way. Okay? And if you are able to print on A3 or something like that, you have a larger poster. And then you can actually design your posters or charts using the Microsoft Word, and then print it out and transform what you have onto your cardboards. Okay. So we are going to see how these things, work together. Now, I am assuming that you know what Microsoft Word is. What is that? But if you don't know, please go and learn. Microsoft Word is that software that you can use to help you to type. Okay? And there are so many words, peculiar terms. There are terms peculiar to it. So some of it I will mention quickly. But we won't be able to cover how to start, how to in this class. What we want to present in this class should make you to go and start the work on your own. You can, even if you don't have a system, in the days when we didn't have personal systems, we will sit with the computer person, operator, and tell you, this is how you should do it. This is what you should do. Not that she will be the one or he will be the one dictating that this is what I want. Okay? So those are the principles that we want to look at. Of course, I will show you some of the things. This module are uploaded so that other things there that I won't talk about, you'll be able to see. All the software tools, but we are going to concentrate on word processing. In terms of presentation, we have been using PowerPoint all through this class, so we are not going to that. We are just mentioning spreadsheet. I will show you just an example of how to use Excel in the class. And of course, we'll be talking a lot about graphics. We won't go into database, but there's a link, a tutorial link that you can use to find out what you can do with database. Now, the word processing, please, I want you to listen because you will get all this. We have different applications, but we are concentrating on Microsoft Word. Okay? And we can do a lot of things with this. These are things that you know, so you don't have to write this. You can edit and format your text. What is editing? If there is a problem, grammar mistake, spelling mistake, you can edit it. You can format it. What is formatting? You want to make it double space, single space, you want to increase the format, you want to decrease it, you want to put color, you want to, so those are the basic things that happen. And of course, you get all these open, use keyboard, send this, those are just steps to go. And of course, when do you use this? When you want to organize your information in meaningful ways, as we are doing. So I'll just, of course, you can delete, you know that. You can rewrite, you can add, you can move, you can copy. Those are basic functions. You can copy and paste, you can, and I think that's what students do most, copy and paste. Then we have what we call fonts. Fonts are different lettering styles that exist. Most of the time you type with what? Who knows? Times New Roman. That's the font. We have other fonts. Bookman, old, something style, different kinds of things. They're all there. And you can tab. So all this are just, but I want us to go to the application really. Okay. I will jump quickly from here and I will show you some of the things that we can do with the word. Okay, I'll just be picking the examples as they come. This is a poem illustrated. The pictures were got online. Imagine you are teaching a poem and you have the words there underneath. Just as we have said that your charts or your graphics, generally, your visuals, must have basically pictures, photographs, diagrams, and your verbal should just complement it. Okay? So, this is an example of the use. You have of course, if you see this picture, what do you think the poem is going to be about? The frog. Are you sure? Or a toad? Okay, it's a frog. The flute floated past the frog who was catching flies. Follow that flute, and so on. I will finish the story because I know you are interested in what I'm doing. I wish. That's us. Okay, so that's one example. You want to illustrate your point. You know, I know you would have said this during the using charts. If you want to do a poem, you want to teach a poem, you don't need to take a chart and write the poem on the chart. Why? You can tell me why. It's too wordy.
It is explanatory.
What is chart supposed to be used for? Visual. Okay? So, and what you have written on your chart, you might as well put it on the chalkboard. So many times people say, I took charts to class, but what is inside the charts? It's not every lesson that you might need a chart for. Or you might need an instructional material. It's not every lesson. So if you are teaching like a poem, if you have some pictures that can illustrate that poem, you can put that on your cardboard. And this is something you can do with your computer. You can insert pictures. This is talking about a frog. Make the class more lively. Get a picture of a frog and, you know, insert it into your page. And bring the picture of the frog into the classroom. That will first attract the attention of the learners. They have seen something. Instead of just coming to class and say, this morning, our poem is about the frog. Open your textbook and start reading it.
I hope you know frog.
I hope you know frog. I hope you know what frog is. So that's an example. You are teaching about poems. Let's look at some other examples. Okay. This is a worksheet. Write a story about the picture.
It was
It's from a person to be any other language. I didn't know. Oh yeah. Please let us listen to this story in Yoruba. This is a Yoruba class now. We are going to a Yoruba class. We are going to a Yoruba You are not a teacher. See, you are talking here, nobody is here. Okay, who wants to project these are our boys? Please listen. Project your voice. Bàbá ń lé ọ̀pọ̀lọ́. Ìgbà jábọ́ lórí bàbá. Okay, how Baba Babufila? It's longer than that. So the story can continue. You know, in an English language class, you want to tell them to write a composition. Okay, write a composition about my town. Or my, you know, but if you bring it in a pictorial form, you have the sketch of a town. Okay, write a picture about this. You know, the students can imagine better. They see the things and they can write. That's one of the things that you can use, you can do with the Microsoft Word. Just insert the picture that relates to what you want them to write about. And then leave space there, see the space there, for them to write what you want them to write. So that's another example. Let's see an example in science. Your 5 senses. The words in the word box are words that make you think about seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, and tasting. Categorize each of the words below. Okay, let's see even if you know. Rainbow. I see. You see? I feel. You don't touch it. I feel. Talking.
It's on talking. I hear. I smoke.
Smoke. Under what sense will smoke come? Are you following us down there? Huh? Okay, what does staggering?
What taste? What's happening? What man?
S-A-V-O-R-Y. Taste, okay? So, this is just a worksheet. Of course, you would come into the class and tell the class that you have 5 senses. Can you repeat that after me? Yeah. What are they? And you can come to the class with a worksheet that is as colorful as this. And then you begin to, of course, you know that the students, they have something in their head. You go to the class as if they don't know anything, okay? As if you are the one, you know, your guy that knows everything, okay? So you could start with something like this. All the words that are there that you can put under taste, of course, they will miss some. It's natural. Some they may not have had before. But you have already engaged them in the classroom work. So by the time you now begin to talk about the senses, oh, they can pick because they have had a lot of words that you have categorized together in the classroom. So it's something that could be done generally, or it's something that you could print out using Microsoft Word. You see all those small pictures there that represent different things. Tasting, touching, and all that. Feeling, okay? So that's another example in the sciences. Let's see, okay. Animal families. This is science too, or what? And in this case, you have 3 columns. It says draw a line from the animal in the central column to the name of their young in the first column and to the name of the animal group in the 3rd column. Even in English language, we do animal groups. Yes. You know, a something of lion. So, the students are supposed to look at these ones that are in the middle. and they draw a line like hard to eating. All these things are very easy on Microsoft Word. That's just what I want, because if you just put it on the board and you see your students begin to copy, it's not as interesting. It's not that you can't do it that way. But we want to make it interesting. We want to catch their attention. We want to make learning permanent. Remember our first few lectures? We want to make it concrete. Okay, so that's why we are doing all that. So this is an example. Somebody that has done our own very well. Okay, let's see. There are other things also that can be done. Like, I'm not on. It's a certificate. You can encourage your students and do different kinds of certificates. Maybe that the person that you do mathematics and in class, you do assignments, 10 sums. People that score from 8 to 10, you present a certificate to them just to motivate them. And those certificates can be done easily. That's just what you don't have to hold any extra thing and just design them. In fact, there are templates that you can use online already that even if you're not so good in creating, you can do that. So all these are just examples that I wanted us to see. They want to go on a field trip. That's a field trip permission form, which you can easily create using Microsoft Word. Okay? And so I'm sure you can think of so many other things. And when you go on an interview, because I'm expecting that most of you will get employment from international schools,
Amen.
federal government colleges. You need to show that you came from UI. All the way from, anywhere, when people ask you that, people know Nigeria, anywhere I go, I say, where are you from?
From Nigeria.
From University of Ibadan.
University of Ibadan, the Premier University.
So you should show that anywhere you are, that we are not common, eh? Or you are common. Okay, so when they want to do something, wait. Can we do it like this? Even if they want, eh? You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Which university are you from?
No wonder.
Okay, so that's the idea. And these days, a lot of things are happening in the... How many people came for TikTok by Professor Maria? So you have the feel of what we're talking about. I was surprised in this my last travel. Somebody came to do a presentation, and it was on social management skills. I found out that they are employing corporations now. They are employing people to manage their social platforms, network platforms. Like if they are using something like Facebook or they have Twitters and all those, they employ people, and there are courses to do it now. If I was a social network manager that came to talk about it, and there are already existing courses. So there are a lot of places that you can apply technology. People are not looking so much now as to your certificate. Yes, get a certificate, very good. But what extra thing can you do? And that is why you will find a Yoruba graduate in the bank. Yeah, because it can prove that you can do something much more. than what the certificate dictates. It's just that in Nigeria you need your certificate to do that one, but add the others. So this lady was talking about the various skills that a social network manager should possess, the kind of training, and I was, wow. So you could get a job by just managing the social tools of a corporation. It's as simple as that. So all these things we are talking, this will just be introduction. But please, gather interest in such things and begin to move on from there. There are introductions for you. Okay? Let's see. Okay, that is another example. You know teachers. What are the things you know them by? Chalk. What else? Biro. Lesson notes. Yes, this place, at least in your state, mine. You have to put on mine. Now, the traditional way, who can tell me of writing lesson notes? Lesson notes. What do you do? Like, schools are going to resume in September now. What will be happening?
The teachers are expected to write up to 3 weeks lesson notes prior to resumption.
So, and they will take their exercise book and they will do what? They will start copying. It's only the creative and the efficient, effective teacher that will say, okay, let me even look at some more materials and let me put it inside. But they have to keep writing and keep writing and keep writing. Because you can't use the lesson notes of last year, even if the same content. You can't say, okay, I will use it this year. You have to rewrite. You have to prepare it. And it's usually very tedious. If you are an English language teacher, you cover all the arms. GS3, A to F. And you need to have a lesson note for each one of them. That's the ideal thing. So what do you do? These days I expect that teachers will be using Microsoft Word. So they will have it, whatever they are doing is online, they print it out, it's on the system. So next year, if I'm going to do the same thing, I will just go and bring out what I had typed inside and update. And it's easier to update, even if you have internet access. You just go online and find more information and add to it. And in a matter of few moments, you are out with your lesson plan. In fact, 5 of it, already. So instead of having to write, then you can dedicate your time to doing something, other things that are more useful for the classroom, like designing instructional materials. Instead of, our teachers are going, I'm writing my lesson, they are looking, there is a way out, okay? Then we also have templates that can be used. You have the template, you can print out the template and you can fill it in. Instead of writing everything over and over. Just to make it more interesting and print it out. And put some pictures there. Let them take a sheet home. Instead of writing it in their homework or just, The essence is not that you can't do it the traditional way. But the traditional way has a lot of setbacks in terms of getting students interested in your classroom. So that's a lot about Microsoft Office, and you can find more examples. Of course, I think I have, okay, let's see, we can have some more examples. Okay, you will have diagrams and label them. Now, graphics inside Microsoft Word, of course. It makes your document more appealing and so on. You will have picture and all that. Now, if you are writing anything, this is what you write. Principles of graphics, there are 4. Simplicity, empathy, unity, and balance. Now, for any of your graphics, whether you are using the computer to design it or you are designing it directly by yourself on the chart, these principles, you must abide by these principles. And the first one, which is simplicity, is what we have talked about when we were talking about visuals, charts, posters, and all that. The chart must be simple. It must be one concept chart. It must address a particular goal. It must have more visuals than verbal. Verbal should just complement the visual. Okay? You will use lettering styles that are bold and clear. So if you are talking about simplicity, that's it. So I don't need to repeat all that one again. Must be simple. The use of colors, there must be contrast. You can't use yellow over white. It won't show. Okay? You want it to be very colorful, and then you go and take yellow, pink, orange, everything. You can do that one if you are designing a chart for your girlfriend. Put all the colors there. Then, but if you are doing something for the classroom to make it effective, it's not every chart that is beautiful, that is effective. You can have a chart to have different colors. Hey, this one, You have tried, you have worked on this chart, but it's not effective. Okay? So that's the principle of simplicity. Now, emphasis. Emphasis. In every chart, please, ma'am. Emphasis in our graphic. How do we ensure that we have emphasis? Because all these 4 principles you must add to it when you are preparing your graphics. And when we talk about graphics, we are talking about your visuals. Whether it's a photo album, it's a picture album, it's anything, poster, charts, diagrams, illustration, you must adapt to this principle. So how do we, using the computer, adhere to the principle of emphasis? Okay. So what you do is you direct attention to the most important part of the chart. If you are talking about in biology, you have unicellular organisms. By the time you see unicellular organisms, it must be bold, it must be very clear, so that everybody who moves near that chart will know that this chart is talking about unicellular organisms. Okay? You might have the map of Nigeria. You know, they have vegetation, hills, and whatever, different kinds. So you might have a chart on that. It must be very clear what you are emphasizing. If it is states and capitals, if it is vegetation in Nigeria, if it is anything, it must be emphasized. We will tell you, these are the ways. You can use color, and I will show you an example. You can use tools. Of course, this is what we do when we are typing. You use bold, underline, emphasis, to emphasize on the italics, emboss. Many of us, we don't use that emboss. We can use all these ones to put emphasis on the particular thing we want our students to be attracted to, okay? And you might make the font bigger. If you are typing in font 12, you can now make it 18, so that they will know that whenever they see this thing, this is what this chart or visual is about. And you can use a different font. Maybe you have been using Times New Roman. You can use a different font. Let's bring up an example now. Now I want you to look at this. I want to remove this now. My students.
Huh?
I want it to be simple. Okay. Now this is an example. And we have used emphasis in different ways here. Now you can see that the picture, already if you see a poster like this, you know it's talking about this person. Isn't it so? Okay? Now, I want you to look at all the four statements there and tell me how emphasis has been achieved. The first statement. What has been used for the emphasis there? It's the color. It's not the name. It's the color. Every other thing is in black, and that is in red. What other thing? Something else has been used. No, in that this is is uppercase. All others are lower case. In that this is iron. That's number 2. There's still another one. The font size. So 3 things has been used there. And if you just see a poster, and that's the statement that is there. This is iron, and then the picture there. You know that this thing is all about iron. Okay? Now the second one, she's a woman. What was emphasized there? How? It's italicized. It was italicized. Okay? Now the next one. Live teaching. It's on the line. And the last one. No, what did that was emphasized? Let's all talk now. It's written in uppercase. That's one. That's bold. It's bold. Number 2. The font is different. Okay? If you say isn't she, it's different. Then the font size. So these are ways that you can achieve that principle of emphasis. There must be something on that chart that comes out to you bold, and everybody sees, even without reading anything, that this chart is about. We have written this form there just as examples, but in a normal chart you will have one page like this, the picture there says this is iron, and that's all. But anybody that sees it will immediately see the picture and link the name that, oh, This is Ayo. Okay? Isn't she beautiful?
Very beautiful.
Yes. Yes, she's not. Okay. So who is the person in that picture? Ayo.
It's Ayo.
Yes, this is Ayo.
This is Ayo.
I'm sure you cannot recognize it. Now, balance. So that's the principle of empathy. We want to go to the principle of balance. You know, we said 4 things. Simplicity, empathy, unity, and balance. Okay? Creating a sense of symmetry in your graphics. Everything must be equidistant from the central position of line. And you can use word tools to accomplish this. And I will show you another illustration. You know, some people, they will start writing on their chart. And they will start with capital. This is Nigeria. And by that time, they have reached the end of the cardboard. So, the remaining of Nigeria, they will now squeeze it in and write it in small letters. That is not balanced. We talk about the words being equidistant from the center. Then if you have maybe like 2 or 3 pictures, the way you place the picture will show balance. You don't stack everything to one side. You have to create a balance in it. Okay? And with word tools also you can do that. So let's look at an example again. Okay. I want us to look at this. Poster should look like. And even if you run down, on that poster it has this is a cat and the picture of the cat. Now do your own. And let's see if you can follow the principle of balance, empathy, and everything.
I don't know how to draw.
Okay, somebody has done this is a flower, so you can adapt it too. What I want you to first do is to make your outline, that is your chart, and inside that outline, do what you did. Okay. I don't know. Okay, this is a ball. This is a cat. Your cat is towards one side. Just catch it. This is a cat. Look at this cat. You are right. No, go to the central part. Balance along the side. And then, that means your poster doesn't have any words. I said put
This is a car.
You see, you should have moved his car a little bit down.
No, that's because 2020.
Or you could have done it this way. Then you now put your hat. That is balance and hair. So what you usually do is imagine there is an imaginary line here. So if there's an imaginary line, then you know that the words are not yet well said. But that's let's see what you are not sure that you're fast. How do you put them fast here? Let me see. This one is nice. Do another one. Let me see. But you didn't put them central. That's what we are talking about. Balance. Central. Have something like that.
This is a box.
So you try to space the words such that it will be distant. So you can have something like this. Cat. it's because that's the emphasis where they have put capital letter there. And all these ones with small letter with them. Then you have your cards there. I said yeah, you put yours down, but then you show me something. You see there's space here, there's no space here. That's what we mean by balance. So if you are writing it, you write it in such a way that the same space you do here is the same space you do here. This will come central. Okay. But you didn't put emphasis on this. You wrote it in small letters. Usually you use bolder letters to put emphasis rather than small letters. Box, okay? But you didn't put emphasis. Like you could just because that's okay. Now let me show you balance here. Can you see the distance here? The distance here, they are not the same. So it's, you need to move a little bit so that's the issue. The issue about this is a Alanta. I said you should chant around it. You know, this is your chant. So that I will know if it's balanced or not.
Okay, and we are going to measure this thing.
You know, what is here, what is here. Down.
I got it.
What are you talking about here? You are talking about what? The flower. So you should put emphasis on the flower. So how will you do that? You can underline, you can circle it, you can.
Isn't it fine?
But it's better you underline.
What you have to fill up this space. You fill up that place. Inside, just of one sentence. Yeah. So if you want it to be on one side, you have to balance the words on the other side so that it doesn't look empty. Balance. There's a lot of space here. So you want to make sure that you're writing no more than here. Because then this distance is the same. And if you can't fill that up, you can just have
This is a house. Balance it like that. So to the sides, everywhere you have to ensure.
This is a box.
It takes time to be able to do that anyway. So, but those are the so that it doesn't look empty. So that okay.
Of what balance is. Not only your pictures, the words also must be balanced. The space around the chart must be balanced. Because you just don't want to bring something into the class. As okay, they said we should use something. Oh yeah, bring it. It must be appealing enough. Especially the generation that you will begin to teach. Many of them are far advanced in many things. They have seen a lot of things on television, on the internet, on everything. So if you bring one mislead, this is a cat, you will just put them off as, what is this one bringing into the class? Because you think that we have one push in Nigeria, not in Nigeria, we don't have push in Nigeria. Okay, so that's the idea. Then with Microsoft Word, you are able to, how many people have used alignments on Microsoft Word? You can align, your left justify, right justify, and center it. It's like forms of graph. So it's quite easy if you are using Microsoft Word. That's where we're going on. You put a picture, you can easily balance it. You write, you do your lettering. You know, many of you, as I looked at your wordings, I already told you that it's not balanced. You know, it takes a trained eye, somebody that is doing graphics, to be able to, see some little things like that. But those are the things that go into making graphics appealing. And you want to make it appealing in the classroom. Okay? So, but with the computer now, with the Microsoft Word, it's easier. Because you just press the command. If you want it to be less justified, please bring your own that I said it was to one side that I removed something, pass it around. Because the idea I would have shown you on this is not only for it to be in the center, it would actually be at the side. Please make sure you return her note. It could actually be on the side. You will see the picture. That's not what I'm asking you to look at. I'm asking you to look at how we place the lettering to feel the other side, because the picture has only filled a little bit on this side, so you can pass it around. Please, you can't have no happen. You can, that's what I said, I can put the picture to the side, but make sure that you feel the other side and then raise the other side. No, on that side, this side, so you can use the other side. Just in case you have something like this. Maybe just feels like don't just write one line because there was so much space to understand. Don't look at that. I didn't say you look at the hand. Okay, the final principle is unity. We are talking about interrelationship amongst the parts. Interrelationship among the parts of the graphics. There must be a sense of interrelationship. For example, you can have a chart that has many elements, like a lot of pictures. I will give you an example. Past, what do we call it? Okay, let's say past leaders. So, and you don't want to list them. Of course, that will just be Papa. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have their pictures. You got their pictures from somewhere. And then you paste the pictures. Let's say this is one of them. Another. Now, in a chat like this, if you just paste out the pictures, look for the first. Now, you just put the pictures there. Let's say Jonathan comes here. From that title or whatever, that we are talking about past leaders in Nigeria. Okay, now to make a sense of unity in this church, because anybody that looks at it might say, okay, I'm there is no sense of where it starts and where it ends. So that's the idea about unity, creating interrelationship amongst parts. One of the things that you use is what we call pointing devices. Pointing devices. Pointing. Because there are different kinds of pointing devices. You will have different kinds of arrows. So you would have something like this. It can go like this, or maybe it's going like this, or other way, whichever. So you can use pointing devices to ensure unity, to show that it starts from here. The next person is there, not this person. Because without the pointing devices, you could actually have somebody moving like this. We have to use this pointing that I'm still right with the date. Yes, you can then put the dates, but maybe we're just minimizing space. There's no space, dates there, or anything that will show us. But even with the dates, you know, because people see visuals, it registers first than the written thing. So even if you put 19 something there, people will not read that one first. They will read the flow of the visual before the logo. Okay? So that's one of the ways. The other way, and another example, for example, if you have life cycle of a frog. Remember biology, life cycle of a frog. They will have mosquito. Frog. Okay, life cycle of a mosquito. Okay, life cycle of a mosquito. You have what? So you can use pointing devices to show the interrelationship amongst the parts. But the other thing that you can use is overlap. So instead of here, you can have something like this. That's it. And of course, it's the pictures that are inside there. Then you can create something around it. So we can actually use two things to show interrelationship. You could have it pointing devices, then you could overlap. Okay? So we have talked about 4 principles in graphic design: simplicity, empathy, balance, Okay. Unfortunately, the other one I can't. Other tools, like the word art and the flip art. I'll just mention it. Flip art and word art. The clip art, you can find different types of pictures there. But you know, I always advise, because most of the pictures online, they are not local to our area. Okay? Although, from your charts, you would have been told that all your labeling should be on one side. You shouldn't run around the whole thing. For you so that you can. But see, this is the word art gallery, and it just shows us the various ways that you can. These are really used for captions. You want to do your title. And you can do it in any of these formats. That's where you see, you know, when they write a title and it will go from big to small to big, or it will come like this, or it will go up, small, then bigger, you know. So all these are very simple to use just to make your chart appealing. And that's an example. Welcome to primary 3. There is no way that you want to write this yourself that you might not have some problem in shaping, because you see that it follows a shape like this. Envelope 2. In graphics. In no, let's go beyond this. We're just talking about simple things you can use as a teacher, and I expect that you can move from there. There are more sophisticated tools in CorelDRAW and other. They are also available. So you can do things like this to make your caption very captivating, or to create your emphasis. It may be just one word that you will just do like that, and it will be. Okay, let's see. Clip art also. I've said that there are many pictures that you can upload, but I always subscribe to do your own picture, take your own photographs, and upload it, because they will be more relevant to the children that you are teaching, to the students, than bringing one picture from unless you don't have that picture or that thing, like we are talking about snow. You don't have it in your immediate environment, so you might have to put it online. But if you want to talk about leaves, There are so many leaves around the whole place. You don't have to use a foreign one, that's what I'm saying. You can get local things around. So you can insert your pictures. So that's that about, I think that should be all about graphics. Let me see. Okay. Now this is another example of unity. You can see the pointing devices, stages in the life of a woman. Okay? From baby to toddler to what? No, girl. To girl. To lady.
Woman.
Married. Housewife.
Complete housewife.
To mother.
To granny.
To grandma, to great grandma, to graveyard.
Dead.
Okay, so that's you.
Mama is at the pavilion.
The life cycle of the tourist. We have used different kinds of pointing devices there. You can see this one there, you can see that one. Then if it's overlapping, of course from here you know that it must start here. Any same person will not start here. You know that it flows this way, okay? So that's okay. Let's go. The time is off. Excel, just Excel now. We have seen what we can use the word for. Now, oh, you are leaving.
Yeah, we have a class.
The Microsoft Excel, a lot of people are using it now to, it's mostly usable for record keeping. You want to list your students, whether they came to class or they did not come to class, absent, present. You want to put their marks there. You want to put you want to find percentage, average, positions, all those ones you can do easily on Excel. You want to arrange how their position is. Yes. Because as a teacher, those are things you're going to be doing in the classroom. But normally we do that one by hand. You see calculator, and then you make mistake. And the child that is supposed to come third is coming fifth. And then, trouble sparks with parents. But there are other things also. I'll just show you one example and that's the end. That you can use Microsoft Excel. We have this one. Match the word with the picture. You have you have the words there, and I will also show you the pictures. And the pictures are labeled A, B, C, D, E. That's, you have A, B, then you have C and D, okay? And you have the words. So this would be applicable to so many things. This is just an example. You have the words phones, laptop, camera, whiteboard. So in this column, the student is expected to type in the answer. And if you type in the correct answer, you will get immediate feedback. So you could use this for so many things. This is just an example of words and pictures. It could be definitions. It could be opposites. Different kinds of things. So this is just an example. Now, if you look at this picture, the first word there is phones. Let's see which picture is phone. How did you see it? Okay, it's D. So you type D there. Okay. The laptop is A. What happened? Correct. The feedback gives you it's correct. Now, let's say we type C there. Which one is?
It's wrong.
Okay, it's wrong.
Try again.
It will still be try again. Okay, so let's put the correct way now. A. What's the next thing? C. Okay.
7 points.
So you can, this is a very simple thing you can do using Excel. Apart from all the others, percentage, registration of students, which students are taking PK, CRK or IRK, different kinds of things like that. Okay? So we have just tried to introduce various things. Of course, you've seen PowerPoint presentation, how you can use the computer for presentation. There are other things you can hyperlink and so many other things. But the essence is to introduce this to you, that even if you don't have plenty gadgets, you just have your laptop and a printer, you can do many things for the students, just from a desktop and a printer. Now, if you have in addition a multimedia system, it's okay. But if you don't have, there are so many other things that you can do. Any questions? No,